Hello, beautiful. Hiya, Gerri Manna McMahon here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So, I just really wanted to check in and see how you're doing, to be honest. I've just taken a few days off I kind of didn't know why I was taking the time off, but actually I'll leave them on. Oh my God, it was heaven. It was like a total regroup and clarity on what's true to let go of in my life, and clarity on what I want to create, which has been amazing. And it's also brought up tension. And if you are familiar with creating, or if you work with me, you'll know that tension is juicy. You know, as a creator, as any part of nature, tension is an integral part. You know, look at the river that flows from the mountain down along the riverbed to the sea. That's tension that makes that go. And the tension in a spider's web, the beautiful spider's web. So anyway, today I really wanted to connect because I feel it's so important to come into your power as an empath or a HSP, a highly sensitive person. Because when we're not in our power, it can be incredibly painful. You know, we give our power away. And you know, lots of other things. The world just hurts us, you know. So what I wanted to talk about today is actually the traits, some traits of an empath, and how you can, whether those traits resonate with you, but also then if you are familiar with them, how you can actually transform them into a superpower, because we have superpowers, but very often, you know, even as a trained empath, you know, and I've been empath for well over 10 years. And I you know, it still at times hurts me, but the things I want to share today, luckily, I feel like I've nailed them and have done for a while, but I've seen how I could have been triggered, you know. I've seen how things in my external world are like in my face and going, wah! And I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever. I'm in my truth. So the first thing I wanted to share was, and this doesn't, if you have this, doesn't mean you're an empath. If you haven't got it, doesn't mean you're not an empath. But it's the traits that I'm going to be, the traits that I'm going to be sharing are very common traits of an empath, okay, or a highly sensitive person. So first of all, truth and lies. You know when someone is lying to you, and you know, it's so funny. Even often I noticed, you know, years ago, if I've stopped doing it now because, you know, I don't need to. But if someone lied to me, I'd go, you know, I know that's a lie. And they'd still continue to lie, and they'd, you know, back up their lie and try and flip and prove it and everything, which was really painful because you're sensitive. You know, you sense someone is lying, and then as a beautiful, sensitive being, and, you know, us empaths and sensitives, we're not perfect, you know. We've mucked up in the past. But then if someone, like, insists that they're not lying, you might start to doubt yourself, you know, and that can lead to pretty dark places, depression, anxiety, etc., you know. So what I wanted to say to you now is that when you can sense the truth, that is such a gift. It's such a superpower. Yeah? I've just been guided actually to offer one of my trainings as a freebie. So it's how to become an empowered empath. And it's a really beautiful journey where, you know, you get clarity on how you would love to be, how you'd love your life to be. And then you kind of get clarity on what's happening now. And then you're guided through this process to see what that resistance is, and then allow that to be cleared, to release that resistance, so that you then can take aligned action towards your dreams, towards being even more of the beautiful, incredible, light worker or coach or author or whatever you are. So yeah, this video is just like, it's a stroke on the forehead really for anyone who's going through a hard time, because yeah, there's some chaos out there, there's some chaos, and everywhere I look, Lee Harris, is that his name? I always get this lovely spiritual Lee mixed up with a comedian. Oh, it is Lee Harris and not Lee Evans. Him, Jason Estes, I think Laurie Ladd maybe as well. They're all saying that October is going to be interesting, and it is very interesting. So that's the first thing, truth and lies. And don't let it upset you if someone is lying to you, or if you think they are, just for now, love the moment, just chill, just chill. Okay, I feel you, I see you, and check out my free training. Just message, message me if you'd like that. It's interesting. I love that. It just came to me to, first of all, to offer it for free, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to update it. I'm going to re-record it with all the new tools that I've learned recently, which are ridiculously powerful, where you learn how to actually create and then strengthen new neural pathways in your brain, so that all of you is aligned and focused on creating what you love. So that resistance gets taken away. And it's based on a process by Dr. Gary Flint, who is a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and he used this process with people with PTSD and serious trauma. But we use it, and I learned from, what's his name? Chris Duncan. We use it in the structure of being a creator. So we're not trying to fix you. We're not trying to change you, because you're flipping perfect. You're a superpower laden being, So hit me up for that. So truth and lies. The second thing is, you are unique. There's no one else like you, because no one else has had your story, your history, your trainings, your experience. And no one else has had your mess, because you know what comes from that. Your message. Because you're unique, because you're incredible, you're going to be judged, unfortunately. And, it's always the person that judges that is the one that's harmed. But, you feel it, because you're made to be and to feel different, sensitive, too sensitive. Has anyone been told they're too sensitive? Oh, you're too sensitive, But like, the advantage there is that this is a natural thing that occurs. Oh, that person is not like us. Or those people are not like us, people that have the belonging belief, I won't go into descriptions because it's a little bit close to home at the moment, but, people that have a belief that they don't belong on the planet, or they want to belong, they'll be like, oh yeah, no, that person is like this and like that and like the other. And actually all they want is to belong, But as an empath and a sensitive, you're very often at the brunt of that. And I remember this was happening to me a good few years ago. I think I was in Hawaii. No, I was in Spain, in a new community. And I started getting asthma. I was really ill. And I had this amazing healer. Oh my God, he was amazing. And he pointed this out to me. He said, Gerri, this is what's happening. People are going, oh, look, she's different. Or she's this, or she's that. And like, as an empath, you can feel it, you sense it, And I just like, it was so painful for me. It was so painful. So I wanted to share that, because when he was able to just show me simply, and I think the example he used was a beggar or a homeless person. You're walking along and, someone might go, oh, look, there's there's a smelly person or a homeless person or whatever. It's like, I'm so much better than them. Or I'm different to them. I'm not like them. I'm not like them, you know. When actually that flipping homeless person is probably happier than anyone in the world, you know. Have you ever seen those lovely, happy, gorgeous kids in, you know, the slums in India? I'm not saying it's a great way to live or anything, but they're flipping happy. They're happy with what they've got, you know. Mumbai. Anyway, off on a tangent there. When that happens, if that happens, because you're unique, because someone says you're too sensitive, or you're too this, or she's not like us, or she's like this, or he's like that, you're learning, above all else, know thyself and love thyself. These are the words that are carved above the temple doors in Delphi, in Greece, at the temple, I always get this a bit confused, the funny way around. So the Apollo temple in Delphi in Greece, carved above the doorway, know thyself. When you know yourself, no one's going to rock you off your center. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they think. You know you're amazing. You know you're in your truth. Never mind amazing, but you know you're in your truth, you know, and you know you're aligned. So I felt like that was really important to mention as well, because there's a hell of a lot of separation on the planet at the moment. And, you know, as another one of my teachers, William Whitecloud, said in one of his posts recently, you know, there's a lot of beliefs flying around. There's a lot of, this is the way it is flying around. And he said, the future belongs to those who don't know. I love that. So it was basically to be in innocence, you know, to be in no sense. It doesn't matter, you know. You are creating the world. You're making it up as you go along. So make it up how you'd love it, you know. We're collapsing probabilities into new realities, into new ways of being by focusing on them. So what would you love? What would you love? So truth and lies, you are unique and you're fucking laden with superpowers. And then the third thing is about triggers. You're going to trigger other people. You're going to trigger other people like you just don't know what's going on. Why? Not because you're perfect, not because you're amazing, not because you are. Because you're light. You're a light being. And you don't take SH1T. Because you can see through it all. You can see what's playing out. That's another freaky thing about being an empath, right? If there's drama going on, if there's things going on, not only do you know everything that's going on in every moment, because you notice everything, like we're hypersensitive and hyper aware, you know, but we often know things that are going to happen before they even happen. So that could be a bit mind-blowing. But what a flippin' superpower that is. So what have I written? Don't take others' projections on, you know. Take a deep breath. And another. And one more. And then I was going to say fuck it. But what I've written down here is, oh yeah, grab the free training. Grab the free training. You're going to trigger other people. And this links in with, you know, number 2, you are unique and know thyself. If/when you trigger others, knowing yourself and being the shaman, you know, a head in the clouds, feet on the ground, or a foot in both worlds, you know, so being in the 3D, but also being in the higher dimensions, and walking that way is your truth. And I talk about that in the training as well. So I just love you, and please remember, this is the other thing I wanted to say. Life can be messy, and it doesn't stay like this. If you're in a messy place at the moment, it always changes. Life is a paradox. Life is also beautiful. Look at nature. Look at the sky sometimes. I just looked out and the moon is there in all its beauty, you know. We've just had a new moon, so it's coming into its fullness, shining as that bright light that it is. And that's happening with you as well. You're a bright light. Sometimes it feels like your light is being put out, but you've got this. I love you. Like my page, because I'm going to be maybe putting a little bit more energy into this page now. And I just see you next time. I love you so much, and please be good to you. And check out my free training. Just message me, and I was going to say I'll send it to you. I have to record it first because I do need to upgrade it and update it. All right, I love you. Bye, honey.